When did a helpful stranger turn out to be your worst nightmare? The moving truck disappeared around the corner, leaving me standing on the sidewalk with my 6-year-old daughter Amy, staring at our new house in Millbrook Heights. The Victorian looked tired in the afternoon sun, its blue paint peeling like old skin, but it was ours. After 18 months of living in my mother's basement following the divorce, we finally had our own space again. Amy clutched her stuffed rabbit closer as she surveyed our new neighborhood, and I felt that familiar knot of anxiety in my stomach. Single mothers moving to unfamiliar places always carried that weight, the responsibility of keeping your child safe in a world full of strangers. I'd chosen this quiet suburban street specifically because it looked safe, with well-maintained lawns and family cars and driveways. What I didn't expect was the man who emerged from the house next door before we'd even unlocked our front door, already walking toward us with a helpful smile that would haunt my dreams for years to come. His name was David Brennan, and he seemed like exactly the kind of neighbor any single mother would want. Mid-40s, wearing a paint-stained polo shirt and work boots, with calloused hands that spoke of honest labor and a warm smile that crinkled the corners of his eyes. He introduced himself while Amy hid behind my legs, explaining that he'd lived next door for 8 years and knew how overwhelming moving day could be. Before I could politely decline, he was already lifting boxes from our front porch, commenting on how heavy they were and joking that I must have packed books in every single one. His laugh was genuine and self-deprecating, the kind that put people at ease immediately. When Amy peeked out from behind me, he crouched down to her level and asked about her rabbit, complimenting its purple bow with the serious attention adults rarely gave children's treasures. By the time we'd carried the last box inside, I felt like I'd won the neighbor lottery. David seemed like the protective older brother I'd never had, someone who would watch out for us in this new place where everything felt uncertain. Over the following weeks, David's helpfulness became a constant presence in our lives that I came to depend on more than I should have. When our kitchen sink started leaking on a Sunday morning, he appeared at our door within minutes of my frustrated sigh, toolbox in hand and refusing any offer of payment. When Amy's bike tire went flat, he taught her how to use a tire pump, patiently showing her the proper technique while I watched from the kitchen window, grateful for the male role model she'd been missing since the divorce. He knew exactly when our garbage collection day was and would drag our bins to the curb if he noticed I'd forgotten, leaving them neatly positioned and never making me feel embarrassed about the oversight. His timing was always perfect, appearing just when we needed help most, as if he possessed some sixth sense for our daily struggles. I started to think of him as our guardian angel, the unexpected blessing that had made our transition to Millbrook Heights so much smoother than I'd feared it would be. David's knowledge about our neighborhood proved invaluable during those first months when everything felt foreign and overwhelming. He warned me about the aggressive dog 3 houses down that had a habit of escaping its yard, showed me the safest route for Amy to walk to school, and introduced me to the other families on our street with the easy confidence of someone who belonged. When Mrs. Chen from across the street mentioned that break-ins had been increasing in the area, David immediately offered to install motion sensor lights around our property, spending his entire Saturday afternoon on the project despite my protests about imposing on his time. He seemed to anticipate our needs